Welcome back to Derailed. I am your host, JJ Lahey, here with my good friend, Jake Schyvinck. Jake, nice hat you're wearing there, sir.
Thank you.
Drew says bases are loaded for the Brewers right now. I was watching the Orioles-Blue Jays game. Yeah, you had a doubleheader.
Yes,
yeah, Orioles been...
they traded a guy to Toronto.
Yes.
In between the doubleheader.
Sir Anthony, yeah. Yeah,
Sir,
so
only things you can get during baseball. That's good stuff. That is good stuff.
I was thinking about this a lot today. I was thinking, like, what would it actually be like if football had doubleheaders like baseball? And, like, you would have to play basically like flag football in order to make this happen. I thought this is, like, maybe the only argument that I have in favor of flag football is that maybe you could get double headers, but like still, you need two offensive lines. Really, you couldn't have your offensive line or your defensive line, especially your defensive line. You couldn't have them going out twice in one day. That's just what really would.
Yeah, that would be tricky. That would be tricky.
Couple things we have to take care of before we get into Packers training camp. First of all, thank you everybody who is tuning in right now. We are starting an hour later than normal, which means it's going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream than normal because, we still got to go to bed at our normal times. But I have here now. I'm going to kind of obscure the logo. Okay, so this is an exclusive can of.
I see that flavor.
I'll just say.
No.
No. Look, they sent me a free can.
They did?
They sent me a free can. Yeah. Ghost Energy sent me a free can of their new exclusive flavor. Of course, my camera is whacking out with this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just the new too raspberry bright, cream? Maybe? It's the new. Maybe I should turn my light off for a second here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if that'll.
No,
it's still doing it. This
is the new raspberry cream flavor. They sent me a free can.
Love that.
I can't wait for this to be available to purchase in stores because it is delicious.
We got ads rolling here. This
sponsorship.
Is
we're still the relationship is still a bit of a work in progress. But listen,
this is sick.
Ghost, if you like me saying your name on this program instead of calling you Redacted Energy, if you like me actually telling people how good your new exclusive flavors are, keep sending me free stuff. So, look,
the one I have in my hand. If you want to get in on this as well, okay. Y'all want to get in as Redacted Energy number 2 on the board, you can get after it.
Obfuscated Energy.
Yes, there we go. We need
Mrs. Lahey says it'll be a constant rotation on the grocery list, eh? Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Lahey for keeping me stocked with my weekly Redacted Energy for this live stream. She frequently will show up on a Tuesday and be like, "Hey, did you actually get something for tonight?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, I didn't." She's like, "Got you covered."
Okay,
got you covered, big dog.
I looked up synonyms for redacted. I just wanted to find like the most outrageous one I could find. It's definitely bowdlerized. I'm taking that. That's what mine's going to be called. Bowdlerized.
Okay, I need you to very slowly. Hold on a second. All right, very slowly spell it for
me. It is BOWD LERIZED.
There we go.
Bowdlerized.
All right, so we have
it is in the
Redacted Energy and Bowdlerized Energy.
Expunged, eradicated. There are some good ones, but that word stood out when I looked this up.
Ron Sandville says he's just here for the Ed Policy highlights. And then we got Rev Trev in the chat here saying on vacation at the lake. What did I miss? Well, I mean,
not much, really.
How plugged in are you with the Packers training camp? Because we're going to be talking about that.
Yes, I guess the question is, was he asking how much has he missed of training camp or how much has he missed of this? Because we're only 7 minutes in for this. But for training camp, okay, for those who are watching, this is not a an accurate description of what happened. This is the AI went a little. I don't know if JJ put in some interesting prompts for the AI and said like,
no,
hey,
this is
overboard.
exactly what happened. Or MarShawn Lloyd,
Allegedly,
innocent bystander. Nate Hobbs went
happened.
berserk. Oh, Drew, by the way, in the chat says he typed in bowed and Google finished the word for him. And then he has the definition here.
That's interesting.
Of a text or account having had material considered improper or offensive removed. Well, I will say that is not the case with redacted energy. All right, there's nothing improper or offensive.
Yeah,
that
there's
we're
nothing.
removing.
I wouldn't say there's anything improper.
I mean, I guess it's slightly offensive
We're just not
that redacted
it.
brand doesn't want to sponsor us full time, but we appreciate. Okay, I gotta admit something. They did send me this can for free, but not as a sponsorship deal. I won the redacted energy raffle for the free can.
I see.
So, exciting that I get to try the exclusive new flavor early.
It was hotly contested.
Disappointed that they're still not sponsoring the channel. Yeah. And I've told them, like, look, would love cash, but also would just love if they just send us each a weekly can of redacted energy for us to enjoy on this show. Get Jake into redacted. Give me a new fresh flavor every week. Just keep the rotation going.
Could do that.
So, all right. Rev Trev is trying to get us back on track. Have we talked about Lloyd yet? No, we're going to do it right now. And he also wants to know, will MarShawn Lloyd miss any time this season? I will say. So
the answer is probably. I think.
Well, last week we debuted a new segment on this show called a Mark Murphy Minute. And this is where we talk about pop culture news and relate it to the Packers.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Packers players, the veteran players, are wanting to start their own segment on this show of like I'm trying to think of a good alliterative word, but like insider info that they have from the players. Well, Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney both were giving us the inside scoops this week and today about players. And Josh Jacobs said that he doesn't think MarShawn Lloyd is going to miss much, if any, time related to this injury. So Goody did come out and tell us. So, the hubbub, of course, was Nate Hobbs lays MarShawn Lloyd out in practice. And then the next thing you know, Lloyd is injured and they got to get the cart and all this, and then he's got to go get looked at and all that. And Matt LaFleur is mad at Nate Hobbs and he's got to go do laps or push-ups or something like that. He's taken out of practice for a while. And then today, Goody goes to the podium and he's like, okay, the injury did happen on that play, had nothing to do with Nate Hobbs. MarShawn just pulled a groin on that rep.
Yeah.
According to Goody. So do you believe Goody? Do you trust Goody? Ron Sanville said Lloyd had a groin injury last year as well, correct? He had a couple injuries, and I think one of them was...
I found the list.
Damn it. Was it not?
I found the list, yeah. So he had a hamstring.
Are you getting this from ouchmygroin.com?
No. This is...
That's my favorite website.
I found the injury history. I'm not going to do the collegiate ones. I don't have to worry about that. He had the ACL tear in college, but had a hamstring strain twice. It was in camp last year, and then later in mid-August, and then had the high ankle sprain in September, and then the appendicitis in November, exactly 2 months after the ankle sprain. And so now we've got the groin strain. So yeah, it's piling up here. And I know, I've seen some folks out there just keeping tabs on going, hey, are any of these round 3 guys from last year going to play anytime soon? I don't know what to say to that. It's like someone be like, are you new to the round 3 development? What's happening here? Did Tucker Kraft make you forget? I don't, Tucker Kraft apparently just removes everything that we've talked about for a long time about the Packers in the 3rd round. which is great. I love that. But it seems to be we're back to regularly scheduled programming here. I'm hoping for Lloyd, but we are trending in that direction as we head into year 2.
Well, I think it has to be said that it's not purely just curse, right?
No.
It's not random. Because if you look at the third round picks that have not panned out for the Packers, there are some trends of players who Jake and I and many other people are raising their eyebrow at over the drafting of. All right. Amari Rodgers. Like, I chose to root for Amari once he was wearing the green and gold because that's what I do. But I did not like that draft pick at all. Now, Sean Ryan, I liked. Sean Ryan, I thought was a good pick. I thought he was a good prospect.
Yep.
Tucker Kraft. Actually, I just I was searching for something earlier today, and or maybe it was yesterday, and I saw an old tweet of mine where I was saying to Twitter, "Hey, here it is. Here's a Packers draft prospect you should know. His name is Tucker Kraft, out of South Dakota State." I said, just an extremely solid prospect all across the board, checks every single box you're looking for, and has the 6th best athletic plus college production combo in his class. Also caught 100% of catchable targets in 2022. And then in the comments back then when was this tweet? April 2023, advocated for us drafting him with our 2nd round pick. And by the way, props to, who was it?
Go. Hey, for the folks out there who have a couple tabs open, hit go to just go to the search bar and put "from Jake NFL Draft Tucker Kraft" and have a good time.
Do you have a trillion tweets about him?
There's quite a few, yeah.
Here's the comment I was looking for. Gregory Macarella says this could be the 2nd tight end the Packers picked in this draft. Spot on. And I did get into it with somebody about Luke Musgrave in the comments there. They were like, man, Luke is super underrated. I'm like, he can't block, though. I don't like that Luke Musgrave can't block.
It's again, right. I think that's the thing. And I think there's a really good article about that. About like different blocking responsibilities, right, for different positions. Musgrave can have blocking responsibilities. They are just not wide tight end blocking responsibilities, right? Like he can go get ancillary pieces in the run fit and kind of take care of that. But it's the true inline stuff, right? That digging out defensive ends, right? Helping your tackle on a combo block, like some of that stuff where you are, and there's some concepts in the run game where you are the priority. Right, like the run is coming your way, and you must make said block. So, that's he's amazing. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
you and I were both mega geeked when we took Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, I need to go find. I was in like a co-stream on day 2, but I have the reaction. See, look at that. Wait. Look at this.
Which one?
Big
Kraft.
Want. I put him at tight end 3. It's there. The take is there. We could see it. It's from 2023. It's right there above that one. It's the one above.
Hey,
He's right there.
You know what?
Like, it's all there. It's all there. That was one of the 3. I think I was like geeked out of my mind about, like one of the 3 that, like, have reached that tippy top, feel. Sean Ryan, Drew, yeah, if he secures the starting spot and like does well or finds a way to be like the long-term center or something, like, great. That is awesome for him. I am rooting for him.
I've been like so rubber bandy on Sean Ryan from like this aspect of like, well, he does do that
thing. He's doing that thing, and
but like,
it's like, no, save that for the amusement
park,
bro.
I liked him in college.
Yeah,
wanted to see him in year 1 in Green Bay. Saw him in year 2 in Green Bay and said, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to say any more of this. But like that's when people caught on fire for him and they go, oh, Sean Ryan. I saw some film cut-ups of him as a run blocker on Twitter, and so I know that he's elite. Like, okay, well, he also has to pass block, and he can't do that, and then he's inconsistent about the run blocking. And so now, here we are. We're in year 4 of Sean Ryan. All right.
Yeah.
Year 4. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Is that right? Yeah, year 4.
It is. Yep.
So, like, dude, they keep trying to replace you because you're not that good. Like, take the hint. The consistency needs to improve.
For sure.
They just drafted Anthony Belton this year. They signed Aaron Banks for $1 quadrillion. They're still trying to work Jordan Morgan in at guard. They want you to be replaced. Chris says Goot said Tyron Hopper is a second-round talent.
He did say that.
He has said that about all of his bad third-round picks. Amari Rodgers. Okay, remember the second round he took Josh Myers, and then he said he immediately started working phones because he wanted to get the very next pick in that draft so he could draft Amari Rodgers. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He said this before. Hopper looks pretty good in camp this year.
He's looking good. That's great. That's great. We like that.
I feel like I'm the biggest Tyron Hopper hater out there.
You probably are, but hey, everybody's got to be a top hater for somebody. Probably.
I might be the top hater for a few players.
But like again, if he does
not
like
only
some like
Packers.
If he does some like Christian Welch stuff or like was that who was balling last preseason at linebacker?
Say what?
Right.
Christian
Welch was he balling last year in the preseason?
Christian Welch?
Yeah. So if he does that in the preseason, like, okay, I'm excited to have him, okay, we're taking steps the right direction. He seems to be in the right spots, like doing all the good stuff. Like, awesome. Get maybe in the rotation, perhaps. Like seeing those steps forward are important. So, like, again, not going to write anybody off yet heading into year 2, but it's just, you want to see something here in the next month.
Rev Trev said teams hit and miss at every round. True.
It's true.
LVN is a first rounder who hasn't hit yet. Will Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Third rounders are less likely to hit.
For sure.
I mean, look, you got to give people at least until year 3. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to
ignore the trend.
Buy the hype and drink the Kool-Aid about players who I've just never seen anything from. Like Tyron Hopper, I've just never seen anything from that would make me think he's ever going to be anything. Van Ness, you've seen it a couple times, and you're just like, okay, put it all together, become a consistent, reliable starter for us. That's what we need.
Yeah.
And it's time, year 3.
No, I think, what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, there are trends, though, right? Like, there are certain things where you go, not great. Like New England drafting receivers. Like, if you like that receiver, you're kind of like, oh, that's not, I don't like that. Type of thing. Or Cincinnati pretty much drafting defensive player, especially defensive linemen. Cincinnati. That has been a very worrisome trend. Dolphins, O-line. Like, there are trends out there. There are every scouting staff, like, if you look up and down and you go, they just don't do this well. Like, nobody's perfect out there. There are the top GMs, even they have like a spot where they maybe just aren't the most comfortable and the scouting process doesn't work for them. They go to free agency for that more often than not, then to kind of, ease that hole in the roster. So there are those things. And if it's, if Green Bay's just the 3rd round, like, I think we could stomach that. It's not a certain position necessarily, right? It's just kind of like, they just have some weird grades on some of these 3rd round picks. And it's like, well, on day 3, Goody continues to clean up. So is it like an overwhelmingly concerning thing? No, it just happens to be just kind of strange trend going on. So, but yes, are they going to hit more often than not in the 3rd round? Of course not. No. But it's out there.
Ron says if Ryan is even a solid number 6 lineman, it still seems to be a solid 3rd round pick. No. I think in the 3rd, I'd still like to be drafting starters. Frankly.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Especially when you look at the team's hit rate, the Packers' hit rate in the 4th round.
For sure.
the strategy is flawed in the third round. Goody has acknowledged that. So,
yeah.
But I would say this kind of feels like we're still kind of in make it or break it territory this year for Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, I think how this season goes kind of writes the final chapter on was he a good draft pick or not, right?
Yeah, I think it's hard because I think, yeah, on one hand you're right. Like, do you want starters in the third round? Are you looking for those? Absolutely. How does when the dust settles after 4 years, you know, is a third round player like being a number 6 lineman who is helpful during injury? Absolutely. I'm just going to read off some of the third round picks real quick from that draft.
Sure.
The Jaguars kicked it off. First pick in the third round, Luke Fortner, center. I do believe the Jaguars brought in Hainsey, who was the 6-0 line in Tampa, to win that center job. So we're not off to a great start. Josh Zaidu from the Giants. He goes from North Carolina.
I don't know if I've ever heard that name.
I remember him. Don't think he has a starting role. Tennessee Titans, Nicholas Petit-Frere, offensive tackle, Ohio State. I don't think that's gone well. Seattle Seahawks, Abe Lucas. He's done okay. He has struggled to stay healthy.
I loved him.
He has struggled to stay healthy.
I really loved him.
That's really the biggest thing.
From Washington, right? Washington.
Yeah. Yes. Washington State. Yes. Pass protecting for all those gunslingers out there running around playing QB. Bernard Ryman, Colts. Was a more consensus
an early first round grade on him.
Was more a consensus top 35 to 40 player going in the third. So, in theory, right, you're looking at consensus wise, early second round pick there. Got a huge deal. So that's one so far.
Yeah.
One so far. Dylan Parham in Vegas. I think he is taking over one of the guard spots this year. There's some excitement around him in year 4, but again, hasn't really taken that step. And then you got Sean Ryan, unless I'm missing somebody in the compensatory picks. There is one. Logan Bruss, guard Wisconsin to the Los Angeles Rams. Don't believe he is starting. So, yes, you want to look for starters. And then there's a couple guys, at the start of round 4. Daniel Faalele, Minnesota. He's played guard for Baltimore. They are still looking to upgrade, though. They're okay with him, but they want him more as a reserve player. And then Max Mitchell went to the Jets. Don't believe he is starting at tackle. I think they've got a pair that they feel confident about going into the season. So, yeah, so it's a tough range. You get your Rymans in there, who was, far and away better than Trevor Penning. Somehow went, 57 spots before him somehow. Anyway, but again,
I think I remember really not liking Trevor Penning.
Oh, same. I couldn't believe that the Saints did that in the first round. But yeah, so
don't like the Saints drafts though.
Yeah, it's ever since 2017. It's been they got 2017 draft was an all timer, and then they got greedy, and then they traded up for Marcus Davenport. Give you the Packers first round pick, no complaints. Thank you so much.
The Saints need a new GM, really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of time, I think. But yeah, so that's what you're looking at as far as like the offensive lineman there.
Ayers says, I'm okay with a more Muller type if he's not atrocious pass blocking wise. Again, my whole problem with Sean Ryan is he's just not reliable. He can put together a nice game of pass blocking.
Yes.
And then I'm not even kidding. Like the next week, he will put a performance out there that is like the worst you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's some head scratchers. It's kind of like what happened in the last week.
It just feels like he can't stay focused on what he's doing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's tired. It seems like there's a couple games, I guess, where he looks tired, but it just seems like, I don't know. He's got to like hype himself up and stay focused, and then he's kind of riding on that high and loses focus. I don't know. That's my only theory.
Just got to stack games. That's what we got to do. That's what you got to do in this.
Drew, I'll let you take this one here. Morgan, I'll let you. Jake, my co-host. Jake, yes? I'll let you take this comment. Wow.
Morgan looks like he belongs. Oh, okay. Drew's saying to me, Morgan looks like he belongs, but hard to tell with offensive linemen in practice. I think it seems like anyway that the plan would. I don't know. I struggle to figure out what. There is a plan, right, with Morgan and Belton. I don't know. There are options though, right? And that's what makes it super interesting. Like, is Morgan? They want him to be a guard long term. Do they want him to take over for Walker? Do they want Belton to take over for Walker? Do they want Belton to go to the right side and Tom to play in the left side in the future? Right? They have options. So that's what I'm most excited to see is how Morgan looks in the preseason, how Belton looks in the preseason. I know Belton. Did Belton have an injury? Was Belton? He had one like late last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got back. Has he been practicing?
Well, the whole team is banged up right now. I wish they were doing injury reports.
It's not like the Bills. Have you seen the Bills injury report?
No. Is it really bad?
Oh, there's like 13, 14 names on it.
Jeez.
Not all of them are starters, but like you have a running back in the rotation. Maxwell Hairston got injured recently, the first round pick. I don't know how bad it was. The fact that there isn't heavy news probably suggests it's okay. I know the Cowboys.
Like the Colts are kind of getting it too.
Yeah, Guyton for Dallas fractured his knee.
I did see that.
Luckily, wasn't an ACL, but he is going to miss some time. So it's like
Jair's hurt already in Baltimore.
Yeah, Jair is out.
That might be a lingering thing. They're saying that he had to have his knee drained, which I think
I did see that.
I think there's not much more that you could say besides getting his knee drained that would make the entire Packers fan base go, okay, nope, never mind, I get it. I don't need to relive the Bakhtiari era. Like,
I hate that for him.
I'm glad
I'm going to be upset if he doesn't. I really want him to play well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Jair.
Yeah,
and like,
I'm just hoping he can stay healthy, because it would be very fun to see that unit in Baltimore healthy and balling. They're already missing Ardarius Washington, who's going to be their third safety this year, right? Which stinks. I hate that, especially because he just started to really catch fire. It was almost like a Bryce Young situation, right? But a guy who's undrafted, you probably don't care as much about of like, everybody was Bryce Young. Oh, here he is. And it's like, well, Ardarius Washington doing kind of the similar thing. That's what sucks about this sport, man. It's just can be all there one day, and then, the next day you might be missing the season. That's what's tough about this. So, and yeah, Chris the Casual one saying Bach was on a Hall of Fame track. Yeah, he really was.
The other thing he
was that dominant
was like, I am so appreciative of the way that he left Green, because he went to Baltimore and has not been talking crap about the Packers. No. He still says like, oh man, I love my time with the Packers, love that team. Like, it's kind of refreshing to see a longtime Packers player who clearly loved being here, not all butthurt when they leave and go to an NFC North team and start crapping on how like the Packers are the worst in the entire world. Oh man, my teammates were so mean to me.
Right.
So I really want to see Jair ball out this year. Would love a Packers Ravens Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Sign me up for that.
I want that so bad.
Let's have a day. That will be special.
What would you rather have? A Packers Ravens Super Bowl or a Packers Steelers Super Bowl?
Oh man. It's good that none of my Steelers buddies watch this, probably, because I would definitely say Baltimore. Not that I'm not rooting, be cool to see Rodgers get a second one. Just simply because I think he's so much better than everybody who has one, which stinks. That's sick from Drew. Grand Slam Brewers. Love that. Take all three from the Cubs. But yeah, I think it'd be, truthfully, I mean, we're going to see it. Sunday Night Football. I'm going to be there. I'm going to the Pittsburgh game.
Nice.
With those ugly uniforms. Green Bay better run them off the field. But, It would be cool, but I think it would be personally, I think it would be a better game with Baltimore in that. I think it'd be much more satisfying to beat Baltimore, who I think, probably myself included, I feel like they're the favorites in the AFC. I know they haven't proven that they've gotten to that summit to play at the summit yet, but like, if they didn't turn the ball over, like the Bills just couldn't stop them last year, and I think they would have ran through the Chiefs. I was really hoping we would see Eagles-Ravens, because that matchup early in the season was such a good one. It was tough. It looked like a U.S. Open. The defenses were putting so much pressure on on Hurts and the offense for Philly, and then Lamar as well, to just kind of make excellent plays. Like, they were forcing you to execute at an extremely high level. Like, that would have been an awesome Super Bowl. So I would really like to see Green Bay reach the mountaintop by beating a team like Baltimore to finish it out. That would be awesome.
That would be nice.
It would be very cool to see. Because they don't have any holes. Like, the offensive line, maybe they're kind of they're kind of repatching some spots, right? But that defense is going to be a headache, man. It's going to be a headache.
I still have some questions about their cornerback room a little bit, even with Jair there.
They do. Well, I mean, if Josh stays healthy, they got Marlon Humphrey in the slot. He'll probably go there. Wiggins, had some really excellent moments as a rookie.
I question Wiggins. I really do.
But he is not the biggest, right? He's got the slight frame. He's somewhere in the low 180s, I think. So, like, that's,
kind of like Ennis Rakestraw for the Lions. Like, I was kind of out on both of those guys due to their size.
Tough to hang out there at that size. But Starks and Hamilton, I can't believe they let that happen.
Drew asks, could Christian Wilkins help us?
Anyway.
1,000,000%. Yes, I'm all in.
Christian Wilkins could definitely help this team. One of those guys at the top of the draft, you're looking at defensive tackle going, yeah, that'd be kind of nice. Him, Simmons. That was him, Simmons, Oliver, and Quinnen, I think, right? He was 2019, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was one more that wasn't there.
Maybe.
Wait, who's the other Bama boy?
Raekwon was the year after. Raekwon Davis was the year after.
Oh.
I know that for sure. That may have been who you're thinking of, but there might be.
He was 19.
I think he is 2020 because I remember the Dolphins picking him in the second. Let me check. I feel like that was the COVID. Double check. Yeah, Raekwon 56 to the Dolphins in 2020. I'm going to check 2019 if there was another. Maybe it wasn't a Bama guy. Quinnen, Oliver, Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, and Jeffrey Simmons. That's right. Yeah, there were two Clemson fellows. That's right.
Two Clemsons, not two Bamas.
Yeah, and then Tillery went at the end of the first to the Chargers. Yeah.
So yeah,
Wilkins could help.
Jake.
Yes. JJ. Yes. Hi.
I am in on the Packers trying to win a bidding war with the NFL for Wilkins, even with the stuff that his former teammates and coaches are saying about him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's far and away
out of Miami?
The biggest hole and issue on the Packers roster. It's the number one thing that I think not only can, but likely will hold them back in their biggest games against the NFC. Drew said that stuff sounded like a nothing burger.
There wasn't anything from Miami, right?
That stuff. Say what, Jake?
There wasn't anything from Miami, was there?
No.
I don't think we heard anything from there.
I mean, he had some incidents where he's grabbing other players weird in games. Like he grabbed Josh Allen.
No.
And
he did do that in the college football. Yeah, I was going to say he did do that to Ohio State.
Yeah. But
listen,
whatever.
Hey, Rasheed Walker.
It sounds like
y'all remember. Y'all know what happened.
We got Rasheed Walker on the team.
Rasheed Walker.
Right?
I mean, we saw that.
I'll get the clip. We need the Rasheed Walker clip. I haven't pulled this up in years.
Hey, Rasheed Walker did something. He did something, that's for sure. So
I'm trying to see what's the best way. Can I just get to his loop or something?
I would prefer Wilkins to keep his hands to himself. That seems like personal space violation, but I feel like
I just googled the Rasheed Walker thing.
Yeah.
And here's a headline. Sketchy video surfaces of new Packers tackle Rasheed Walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to upload this for our
That'd be nice
for our thing, but I think it seems, as far as I can tell, it seems like the thing with Christian Wilkins is just that he like got old with his teammates quick. Like that people were just tired of him. That he was annoying. That's what it seems like. That they were just really ready to be done with him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I'll put up with it for a year. We don't have defensive tackles. He's a great defensive tackle. He shouldn't be available in free agency.
Is Raekwon Davis signed with a team? Yeah. Yeah, 2026. Why is that coming up on Spotrac? Anyway. Yeah, I mean, there just isn't like high-profile players out there right now. So,
except for Christian Wilkins.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, both our 2019 free agent signees on the edge are still available. But yeah, I mean, you know, it could be worth at least reaching out at the very, very least. But yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more. I know there was some talk about Nazir Stackhouse today. There was some
we should talk about Nazir because he's been making plays every single day in training.
Before we go there, real quick, did we answer this? Also, this has been brought to you by the Mark Murphy Minute, by the way, as we interpret it.
Well, I do have our Mark Murphy Minute. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, we should do that. But I really quick, because I know we were talking about Lloyd. Do you think Lloyd misses time this year at all?
Well, I want to get to this. Josh Jacobs said that he thought that MarShawn would miss little to no time.
I'm going to ask it in general, right? Like, not this injury. Do you think he gets something else that, like, he sits out a game or two or three? You know, I feel like it's yes. I don't, you know. I'm not hoping that happens, but like I don't know if I had to guess, I fear that he might. So, yeah. So, I want to make sure we get that one. But yeah, you're good. Let's go to the Mark Murphy Minute. We'll talk a little Stackhouse.
Yeah. So Mark Murphy Minute. So here's our today's pop culture. I need a little jingle to play for this, but Busta Rhymes is dropping a new album. So he says.
That's interesting.
And so Busta Rhymes named himself after George Buster Rhymes, a former NFL receiver.
Sure.
He was in the NFL for just 2 years, 1985, 1986.
Okay.
And then he proceeded to play the 88 and 89 seasons in the CFL. But in the NFL, he played for just one team. He was a 4th-round draft pick by the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
He played he was active for just 2 games against the Packers because, you know, we weren't playing twice a year back then. And so his debut game against the Packers smashed the Vikings 27-17, which they're going to do again this year. So there you go. There's your Mark Murphy Minute. Here's how pop culture ties into the Green Bay Packers.
Nice.
All right. And then I lost my thing. Here we go. Roll with Stackhouse. So, you know, we drafted Warren Brinson, but his teammate then got signed by the Packers in undrafted free agency. Yes. And like immediately, basically day one, a lot of Draftniks and Packers fans were saying like, dude, I'd kind of rather have Nazir over Warren Brinson. And I think you and I both said that too. I can't remember if we said that, but we liked the Nazir Stackhouse signing. He was not our favorite UDFA signing, but he was
know
top
that
3
is.
for us,
JDJ. Yeah.
JDJ
I think
and
was our favorite.
We liked Amar Johnson as well, but JDJ was number 1.
Yes. Yes, he was. But again, I think the biggest thing with Stackhouse was like, hey, like this is a player who you look at and go, okay, help on early downs he was a big part of that at Georgia, right? Holding the point of attack, take the double teams, big dude, kind of play that nose tackle thing. And the kind of Brinson was more of like, oh, you can kind of maybe move him around a little bit, a little more explosiveness, a little more pop in the
Sure.
hands, right, type of thing. So a little bit of contrasting styles, but, right, as we were talking, like, what Green Bay needs more is kind of that guy in the middle of, like, hey, like, I can take on the center and the guard. I can free up Cooper. I can free up Walker, right? Like, I can get, give guys more chances on the one-on-ones to shed blocks. Like, that's a big deal, right, for a player like like Stackhouse. So I think that's the biggest thing with us.
Brinson
like, that's what they
is
need.
probably the
That's what they
bigger need on the Packers defense. Right. Brinson's probably the bigger need. Like,
you think
the
so?
type of
like just a more multiple player, you mean?
Yeah, because they need reps. Like, yeah, they do need a big body, but like, it's not like Devontae Wyatt can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer he not, because when he's one gapping, I want him to be able to go, right? And I think that will help him. Like, having a guy like Slayton, right, who at the very least can on early downs get you into more favorable spots, second and third. Let Hafley unleash some pressure stuff, right? You're bringing in guys like Oliver. You're letting Simmons do some stuff. Who knows? But like, Cooper's obviously moving all over the place. Like that will help you in certain spots. And I think that's why I think I got excited about Stackhouse. And again, it sounds like, kind of circle back to it, like, some people are impressed at the moment.
Let me ask you this: if both of those guys make the 53, and like today, where we sit here, I would say I think both of them make the 53.
Yeah.
If they both make
the
53,
hard not to.
Put your money where your mouth is. Which one of them plays more snaps on defense this season?
Do they like Kenny playing one tech? That's gonna be a thing all year.
They had him playing defensive end,
Yeah. I'm gonna go Stackhouse. I'll put my money where my mouth is on Stackhouse.
Okay.
Just because I think, based on all the body types in the room, like, they have more of these attacking threes that are going to be better just shaded a little further from the ball. Not shaded, I guess, just lined up a little further away from the ball, right? Stackhouse maybe not on the field as much in the passing downs, even though people are saying, he's been pretty quick out there for the size. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the weight is at right now.
How about this for
I'll put my name.
prediction.
I'll put my name on it. Put my name on it.
How's this for prediction? Despite the complete lack of any depth at the position, Warren Brinson logs 0 snaps on defense this season, and then Stackhouse plays, at least a respectable amount for a rookie undrafted free agent.
Yeah, I like it.
What do you think they do? Drew says Stackhouse could get some work in goal line. I mean, what do you think they're gonna? What's the plan for goal line? Like, I mean, are you gonna load up on linebacker here? Are you gonna have, like, everybody that they have is small. Like, but I'm just saying, everybody they have is small. They don't have anybody big on defense. It's Rashan Gary and Lukas Van Ness, and then that's it. Like, nobody else, and Kenny. No, I mean, Kenny is. It kind of depends on what you play Kenny at, but just he's not a nose tackle size.
Not really, no.
Like, no. Goal line, you putting Lukas Van Ness inside, I guess. I don't know, but then that means you got to put Kingsley out there on.
No, I think
goal line.
I mean, if goal line has. What are we going to have? Are we going to have 3 DTs? I think.
Who are 3 DTs be? It's
probably Wyatt, Stackhouse, and probably going to be Kenny. I mean, it's probably.
Chris says Packers got to be the smallest defensive line in the league this year. hard to argue. You got other small guys on the roster too. Like,
yeah, I mean it's. Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, like
Kingsley is small. Isaiah
if you're
Simmons
counting
is
that,
small.
but like if yeah, because again, what are we calling a defensive end, right? Like obviously the 3-4 defensive ends are going to be bigger than the 4-3 defensive ends. When it comes to like edge players, right? The 34 teams are not going to have guys as big as Van Ness and Gary on the quote unquote edge because, right, their job is a little bit different. So they'll be bigger there because they're in the 4-3. But defensive tackle wise, like Brooks hovers around that 300 kind of, like Wyatt, 305, 310, maybe not even 310. Like Stackhouse was like 320 at Georgia. Is he going to stay at that? Kenny has always been in that 300 to 305 type of thing. So yeah, it's not the biggest. That'd be interesting to find out, like where they actually rank. So.
Too old for this. Wants to address our title for tonight's live stream. He says Nate Hobbs is not too tough, not too rough. This team needs a spark, and he brings it. I'm kind of there. I get the hey, let's not injure our own guys in practice.
Yeah. It wasn't the QB,
but
he's not hitting Jordan Love, right? Like
it's not Jordan Love. I'm sorry, these guys are going to get tackled.
Let's call it like
Matt
it is.
LaFleur
right
defenses, now. The Matt LaFleur teams have never been like these, rough punch you in the mouth type teams ever at any point.
What would you rather be? Would you rather have LaFleur,
you realize we have to play the Lions this year, right?
Right.
You realize we're going to play
Philly.
Probably the Eagles in the postseason.
Yeah.
The 49ers are in this conference.
Yes, they are.
You don't get to play I don't know, the Bengals every week.
As much as we love to dog on them, like, hey, Joe Tooney's in Chicago now. You think he's not going to, roughhouse people in the trenches? He is. So
you think the Lions are not going to, kick you in the shins and hope the cameras don't catch it? They're not going to, come stomp on your jaw. Like, this is what they do.
Yeah. It's I would rather be like, hey, it's like the QB thing, right? Where it's like, you're being too tentative. You're not being aggressive. And that means you're holding the ball, too long. Of like, no, I'd rather rein you in and taking chances because because of that confidence you have, rather than like being too timid, right? This is the same thing. Like, I'd rather be LaFleur cussing everybody out because they're not, tackling or they're not playing physical enough. No, absolutely not. Like, I get it. Like, you're saying it's chopping the legs. Like, I mean, watch cornerbacks tackle. Half the time they're doing that. Like, they're not big on like shoulder
not big,
into the waist, right? Like, they're not doing that. Nobody's doing that, right? It's waist down to ankle wrap ups, right? They're not laying big hits. So yeah, I mean, I would, rather see some physicality. Like, it's a shame that it ends up in an injury, but it sounds like it might not have been what caused the injury. It might have, it would seem like a soft tissue like the groin would be more of a, planting. And again, not this is not medical advice. This is not, diagnosis. It just seems like I remember having this in high school for baseball, which is, again, makes me nowhere near qualified. But it seems like more of like you're planting your foot and it just stretches in an odd way. Like, I just, yeah, I
have the quote from Matt LaFleur.
I don't want to see guys get hurt, but like, again, be physical. I feel like Carrington Valentine is going to feed off of this also, by the way. Like, I think Hobbs being, that kind of guy in that room is like, yeah, Valentine's going to be all in. 100%. I feel like Oladapo would 100% be that guy too. Like, hey, yeah, let's do this. Let's hit, type of thing. So, again, I know you want to be safe, right? We're just starting out. But again, some of these guys are nuts. Have you heard some of these guys talk? Like Brian Dawkins. He was nuts in like the best way for Philly back in the 2000s. So,
well, again, Hobbs has been endearing himself to me this week. I didn't like the signing, but he's been endearing himself to me. First of all, the reporters are asking him like, "Hey, what do you think about these throwbacks? Like, these are cool," and he's like, "Dog, don't talk to me about the 30s and 40s. Like, It's been 15 freaking years since the Packers have won a Super Bowl. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about like bringing the Lombardi Trophy back to Green Bay this year? And I'm like, okay,
It's like, hey, they're
I
nice,
see you.
but like, you know,
I see you. Like I like where your head's at on this. And then the next thing you know, he's like, out there demon mode, taking people's heads off, and I'm like, haven't seen that in a Green Bay uniform in a while,
for sure.
So I don't know. I'm starting to get a little more on the Nate Hobbs train.
Yeah.
Chris says Packers need to embrace Hobbs' attitude if they want a ring. I couldn't agree more. That is 100% accurate.
Again, I get what Air Joy is saying of like, hey, don't chop the teammates' legs type of thing. And again, I think it was kind of practice of like Hobbs is like, man, this is what I do. I come downhill, I make some play. Like it came back to him in the moment of like, hey, we're playing football. Like, that I just it happens. Like I'm not saying we should be doing that every day, but it's like I like the idea of bringing fire, right? Like Hobbs should be all up in Golden's face all the time, right? Send the rookies through the fire. Be in Wicks' face. Be in Reed's face. Like push these guys. I get what you're saying about like don't chop the legs, and like I just think in the moment probably came over him like, hey, we're playing football. But I do like the like embracing toughness, embracing the mentality, right? The demeanor of like playing corner and like what some of these guys do. So, yeah, I'm good. It's a one-time thing. It happens. Hobbs goes, man, yeah, I was just I was a little too aggressive. It happens, but like, hey, we're in football. It came over me like, yeah, sure, no problem. It happens. Like getting people's face at the joint practices, especially like don't back down. Yeah. So but yeah. So that's what I have on that. I think I mentioned a certain player. Maybe we should get there. Guys, all the talk of the town right now. I mean, there's already put in the comments. Gold's been the DB's faces. I mean, man, Matthew Golden having himself a day again. The clip that was shown of him like working back to the ball, I think it was on Valentine, if I'm not mistaken, and just kind of going up. It
was, yes.
Just being physical.
The ball was definitely underthrown.
Football. It was. Oh yes. And it was underthrown. Go up, make a play on it. Like, love that attitude. Love fighting through contact to go make a play like that. And then just obviously rips through the coverage for another ball that was kind of a little underthrown. They've finally shown that clip of that one. Finally caught it, and it was like, yeah, it was a little underthrown. He was still ripping through the defense for what was 55, 60, something like that, yard touchdown. Like, give me all of that, folks. Like at some point, it's like, hey, don't play the preseason. But you get some reps in the preseason and get the heck out of there. We need you for the regular season. I just, JJ, what are your thoughts? I mean, it just seems like it's happening all the time of like, hey, he's caught a touchdown in red zone. Hey, he's doing this. He's doing this. Like, he's jawing with some of the DBs. Like, how are you feeling? Like, I'm jazzed up as much as I am about Hobbs.
Packers have been needing a guy like this in that wide receiver room. Look, Josh Simmons has been killing it so far in training camp for the Chiefs.
If he is super good,
that's the direction I wanted us to go.
Yeah, if he's super good, I will be a little upset. I will,
but
because it's just like, man, just sitting there.
But like,
yeah, but
is Golden about to unlock something in our offense? Like,
Probably.
We have needed a dog out there who is going to fight through contact and go back and get the ball, who's going to build Jordan's confidence to just keep chucking that pigskin at him and like elevate the competition in that room and get everybody else on his level. Like Jayden Reed has it in him, but like so much of last year, he was not being a dog, was not being the dog that he is inside.
Yes. And
I'm sorry, like I'm fine with placing the blame for that on Matt LaFleur. He's kind of a, not super fiery, like, hey, let's just, play calm, cool, collected football type of guy, which is fine. but I don't want that in my skill position players. I mean, I don't want it in my offensive line. I don't want it in my defensive line. I don't want it in my cornerbacks or my wide receivers. All right. I want guys who are going to run through your face.
Yeah.
We're going to go make plays, who have huge personalities.
Yeah.
We saw the clips from, I don't know, a month ago, Matthew Golden talking about the Packers, and just like you listen to him talk and you're like, oh, you don't hear guys in green and gold talking like that. Like, you know, Rams players will talk like that. Eagles players talk like that. Packers, I mean, this is very upsetting to my afternoon tea that a Packers player is, you know, using language like this. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the chip and the edge that we need. I'm all in, man.
Yeah.
So, like, I wanted Josh Simmons, but I'm so excited to see Matthew Golden play football, and I'm geeked for what he can do. You and I were big on Matthew Golden when he was at Texas. Like, I remember we could not stop gushing about him after that Ohio State game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like this is the stuff I love this, right? Relax if you follow this guy, right? Say I've seen enough. Put in the order for the Matthew Golden. Like, give me all of this, okay? Like, I want that. You know, that's the good stuff right there. This is the training camp hyperbole. What else? Come on. What else are we doing? Like again, you just embrace the training camp hype. Like, it just kind of be two people at once. You can kind of do that, I think. You can just kind of be all in, having a good time here, and be like, okay, but we set some realistic expectations for the rookie. Like, the problem is this rookie is coming in as a first-round wide receiver, first one in 23 years. So, hyperbole.
Realistic expectations go out the window, man.
Yeah, they really do, and I think that the toughest part about for me was ranking him next to Ibuka. It's just kind of like, okay, like Ibuka's detail right now is better. Like he has all of the like really good catch point detail and on time, space versus like all of these like really, really good tangible stuff. And it's like, but is his ceiling higher than Golden's? No. Like, is he going to be able to, I think maybe moonlight on the outside while playing some slot and do some Z and slot stuff in Tampa Bay? Absolutely. He might, with Godwin kind of, they might not have to rush him back in Tampa, right? So Ibuka might get some stuff that, hey, for the fantasy folks out there, take a peek at him where he's being drafted. But like Golden's ceiling is higher. He has that type of speed, right? It's game breaking. He has what looks like the potential to be, as I've kind of talked about, like, when I look at receivers of like who's going to be the big dogs, 3 levels, 3 phases, right? Win the short stuff, win the intermediate, and win downfield. Win pre-catch with the route running and awareness and the release and handing, all that stuff, right? Win the catch point and win after the catch. Is Golden's got the speed after the catch. You've seen him make some guys miss a little bit, right? 3 level, 3 phase. It's possible. I don't think it's under like probable part of outcomes, but like, if we can get to like 5 of those 6, I think we're cooking with gas, and I think the ceiling is certainly there. So,
Ayers said people kept saying he didn't have speed, but ignored the constant underthrows. He's a smooth runner, almost like Mitchell was coming out.
Yeah,
he's like a more physical Zay Flowers with almost the same amount of change of direction.
Yeah,
which you just mentioned that like Golden's ceiling from a physicality standpoint is higher than anybody else's. It's true. I
think he can reach like, again, is he going to reach like what Tet could possibly be for Carolina? Probably not. But like, Tet still has a wider range of outcomes as well. Like he's not like surefire stamp it in type of thing. Like there are ranges of outcomes with him. Ibuka's range of outcomes I feel like are a little bit smaller than a lot of these guys, right? Hunter's is more because of the two-way stuff, but like I feel like again Hunter could be just sailing away by next year. We just go, yeah, of course.
Gosh, if only we could have drafted.
Yeah, right.
Why didn't we draft him?
Right, of course. But like, yeah, so the Tet range of outcomes are a little wider. Golden's are maybe a little wider. Ibuka's are a little more narrow, but the ceiling, right? It's certainly quite high. Ayers are talking about Sam Brown Jr. at wide receiver. I know they brought in Will Shepherd. There's a lot of receivers in this room.
But
is anyone going to be
super
moved?
deep. It's super deep. I think that I still have questions about like if we have all the answers on the roster that we need.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to relitigate this topic for the 30th time on this podcast.
It's a fun
but
thing to do.
It is interesting though that like you look, we got I think 12 receivers on the roster right now.
Wow, so many.
And we're probably only keeping 5 or maybe 6 of those 12.
Sure.
Like there's some easy cuts. Like I'm sorry, like I don't know why Cornelius Johnson is still here. But
yeah, I've seen.
But like after that, they make it tough real quick. Sam Brown, he'll be a tough cut.
Yeah.
I like Julian Hicks. Haven't heard his name one time this training camp, which is not good for a second-year guy. He's probably. You know who else the name I don't hear is Malik Heath.
Yeah, which
hasn't done much that we've heard of in training camp so far.
Which I don't know what to think of that, because like I think Will Shepherd. I'm trying to picture like what the path is, right? And it's kind of like, well, he's got the big body, but so does Malik Heath, right? Reliable hands catcher, but so is like Golden and Doubs when the catch is very difficult.
His path to the roster is punt returner. He returned 18 punts.
Yeah, that's the deal
at Vandy and Colorado.
Yeah, he just doesn't like. They let him try to like stretch the field, which that's again like JJ. Would you rather have Savion doing that or Shepherd?
I'd rather have like 4 guys do it than Shepherd.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
his
that's what his role is like a big body field stretcher, and it's like, well, we drafted one of those in the 3rd round.
I mean, okay, we don't have Bo Melton as a cornerback anymore, or as a wide receiver anymore.
That's true.
So like I'm fine with trying to replace Bo.
Certainly.
And like they've already tried with Cornelius Johnson. Again, I don't
think we have to do that for sure. I agree with you.
We also
this
have
is not anti-Michigan.
I'm sorry, he's not expensive.
Yeah, this isn't like anti-team up north stuff for Cornelius. It's just like I don't know.
Why is he on the roster? He doesn't.
Yeah, it's not like
he's not an NFL player. I'm sorry.
No,
he's also 24 years old.
We're trying to do the thing right. Like when this happened, it's like an overcorrection, right? Nico Collins, kind of like athletic player, big body from Michigan, right? Had all those the good athletic testing, right? And then we did that again, like Peoples Jones, right? And then Cornelius Johnson. Like there's
I love
all
those
these guys from Michigan, right?
DPJ and Nico.
Yeah, and it's like
so
okay,
high on Nico.
We're doing that like athlete who
Colson Loveland
can become like the big bodied X type at the position. It's like not everybody's going to do that, right? Just because they were a freak athlete. Like Nico is a really special case that I've been diving into a lot and found some old Michigan tape, which I think is very fun. But like, I mean, if he isn't showing a little bit, like there isn't, it's with Shepherd there and Sam Brown. It's just kind of like it's not stacking up. So, were there any other things?
Cornelius and Julian Hicks, I would think, are probably not long for this roster. We have 12 receivers on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them I don't think are making the practice squad. It's, like I would give Will Shepherd the inside track on both of those guys for the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if we're going to keep, not that he's super big, 5'10", 187, but like Mecole Hardman, I would have as our Bo Melton replacement if we need a Bo replacement on the active roster.
Yeah, I know. I'll hold the L. I was big on the Melton over Hardman, but if they're going to do the Melton thing at corner, like, why shouldn't Hardman be on this team? Yeah, no, I completely makes sense at this juncture now, based on what has transpired. So, for sure, yeah, I'm gonna put a little Sam Brown Jr. maybe up on the Weekly Cheddar channel.
That'd be fun.
Give you all a little nice look. See, it might have to be next week. Got a Wednesday to Sunday might be out of commish. but we're gonna look.
Drew says
wanted to get to
didn't
this,
see
yes.
Belton in practice at all. So here's the
search this
injuries. Here's the injuries. Wicks has a calf injury. MarShawn Lloyd, of course, has the groin injury we talked about. Aaron Banks, the new left guard, has battling a back injury. And then Savion has been like in and out of practice this week. Something's bothering him, but nobody will say what it is.
Okay.
And then Colin Oliver is dealing with a hamstring.
That's right. I do remember that.
I would say, other than Christian Watson, the guy with maybe the most concerning injury would have to be John Williams, our 7th round offensive lineman out of Cincy.
Yes,
he's got back problems. So he had surgery. In the off season at the end of last year, and now he's got a different back issue that's completely kept him out of practice.
Yeah, that's not ideal. It's not ideal. We'll be watching.
Ron says Belton was with the 3s at tackle. Belton has been in practice. Yes.
Yeah, it seems like there was something yesterday. LaFleur again. I haven't really been hand up, haven't been like in on the press conferences and looking at all that, but just trying to catch up here. But like it seems like LaFleur said yesterday that they think Belton can play inside a guard, but LaFleur wants him to be comfortable at tackle first, which is totally understandable. Again, picturing the possibility at this point of Rasheed Walker potentially moving on, as we've discussed at length, is let's see what he's got here. Let's see what Morgan's doing here, right? So who were the second team tackles? Was Zach Tom doing double duty as first and second, or did they have somebody else out there?
I had
Ron
this
Sanville, if you know
earlier. I had this open.
Obviously,
earlier.
Sheed and Tom were first team, and I imagine Morgan was part of second team, but interested to know who it was.
It's going to take me a second to pull this up, but I know I have it. Okay, starters. Nope, that's starters. Who's the second team? Starters, we had Rasheed, Jordan Morgan, Sean Ryan, Jacob Monk, and Zach Tom. This was yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, we have to talk about the Elgton thing too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Walker, Morgan, Ryan, Monk, Tom. That's kind of been a thing all week. Walker, Morgan, Ryan, Monk, Tom. Man, it's 5 different days we've had.
Monk at right guard?
Here's one on
Interesting.
And here July 24th.
Interesting. Okay.
Rasheed, Banks, Ryan, Morgan, Tom, which sounds a lot closer to
makes sense.
Presumed starter.
Sure. Yep.
But this was before Banks was missing some practice.
Okay.
Previous day, July 23rd, Morgan. This is interesting. With the ones, Morgan, Glover. Why? Monk, Ryan, Tom. That's just a nonsense lineup. Here's another Morgan, Walker, Banks, Ryan, Morgan, Tom. Walker, Banks, Ryan, Morgan, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously when Elton's in there.
I think there was
It'll probably be Walker, Banks, Jenkins.
Yesterday,
Ryan,
Donovan Jennings took a snap took reps at center in 2-minute drill. With the 2s.
Okay.
This is with the 2s.
Sure. Monk number 2 center. Well, maybe they're just rotating.
That's old. Here, give me somebody else who's likely to be with the 2s. This will help me. Monk. Pull up Monk here. Starters. Monk at right guard. Starters. Monk at right guard. Monk at right guard. Monk at right guard. Monk at center with the 1s. Monk at center with the 1s. Yeah, I don't know who else would be running with the twos. So
Yeah.
when I just pull up Zach Tom exclusively, I'm not getting any twos. I'm only getting. So I'm trying to think who else. Morgan, I guess.
And Telfort. Yeah, that makes sense. Telfort. Jennings.
Oh, Telfort. There you go. That's the answer.
That's
the answer. Telfort.
Yep.
Here we go. Telfort with the ones at left guard. That's an interesting one.
That makes more. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Oh, that was from June 12th. That was like the rookie minicamp or whatever.
That again. I think Telfort makes more sense than Glover at this juncture. Very clearly, but
Telfort. Okay, here we got the right side. We got Glover and Telfort. Glover at right guard, Telfort at right tackle for the twos. So there you go.
Yeah.
Tool for this says, sorry I'm a bit behind. I was driving home. Keep an extra receiver and cut Musgrave. His shenanigans are continuing in camp. Again, you want to say addition by subtraction, but like we need tight ends. We can't just have.
Yeah.
Like we're already only at 3 tight ends. Like, do you want to keep Johnny Lumpkin? Do you want to keep John Fitzpatrick? I don't.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just that's the tough thing. It feels like, again, wish they had added to it, right? We talked about that plenty. Wish they had added.
It was a nice tight end class.
It was obviously not as good as we think as the one Kraft was in, right, in Musgrave with Laporta and co. But yeah, I mean it's going to be hard to do that just simply because of the lack. Like obviously Ben Sims, but like, yeah, who else is the thing? And right, who else has the game breaking speed of the seam? Like I understand
they need to add another guy to that room,
but
bad.
They do. Like they do.
You got to have four tight ends in the roster.
Yeah, which again, interesting development, but we needed to get to Elgton.
Said
right?
Trade for Colson Yankoff.
Well, I could do that,
dude. We don't have an extra first round pick. We can't. Sorry. Tulpa said, "Do you think Morgan getting owned by Lukas Van Ness is a good sign for Lukas Van Ness?" I just don't think it tells us anything.
Yeah, I don't.
I think Lukas Van Ness is, as far as I can tell, he's been fine in training camp. I'm not seeing anything.
There's been quiet discussion around him, for sure.
In what way?
I know. I know Nagler tweeted he's quietly having a pretty good camp. Again, what can we again? What do we really say about that?
Well, that's a dig at me, but
Van Ness was impactful all day. So again, I think the biggest thing with Van Ness, right? I don't think is is he going to be able to shed offensive linemen at the point of attack because he's so darn strong? Yeah, absolutely. I expect that. I think the biggest thing for LVN, right, is again playing the 4-3. It's always defend the run first. Can you get to moves quickly? Can you set up moves quickly? Can you have a go-to? Which, again, for him, with what he is, he needs to mimic guys like Verse who, again, throw in that, kind of stutter bull where you're, feigning outside, trying to get the tackle to swipe or keep the hands down, and then you explode back in and catch him off guard. Verse was really good at that. And again, Van Ness doesn't turn like Verse does, but he has to have something to go to. And it's probably got to be power related, right? I don't think we need to thinking about speed rips with a guy like Van Ness, right? He has to unlock the power mover to be, that guy in year 3. So, yeah, there's not much to glean from that. I think Morgan, like, honestly, I would
Like,
again, nothing against Morgan, but like, I kind of hope LVN kind of works Morgan over and over, because Morgan was always a guy who was late.
You and I
hands,
would both
right?
not say that we think Jordan Morgan's like a crappy offensive lineman.
No.
Who, like, we're not putting him in like the Royce Newman tier of oh gosh, if he beats you in practice, like, you're getting cut. Like, we're not saying that. We both think Jordan is a weird misfit with the Packers'
strange
blocking scheme and what they want to do, and there's just not really a spot for him.
No.
Like, that's been the biggest thing.
That's the weirdest part about this. It's just like, you can see the philosophy shift, right? With like who they want to play center. They're bringing in Banks at guard, who's bigger, right? Belton, where's he going to play? He's bigger. Like, they have all this where, again, Tom is still Tom on the edges of dancing bear tackle. But it's like they clearly, with Jacobs, as we've kind of talked about, want to get some more gap stuff. They want to get more vertical in the run game. How do you do that? You push people around. And it's like, Morgan's just really not the push people around guy, right? Sean Ryan can do that more, right? As type of thing. And that's why, again, I've been harping on, and I think Jay just kind of agreed of like Belton playing guard for that thing makes sense. Like, he can move people, no question about it. So that's the thing, is like, Morgan going to figure out the spot at tackle, or like, yeah, it just makes it strange. And that's where it's like, Morgan's doing all this cross training stuff and like trying to figure out where the heck he's playing. So like, LVN at this point should be taking care of him, honestly. Like, it's a nice little benchmark, but like, he should be. He should be doing that. Like, LVN is a starter, period. Right? Morgan is potentially a starter. So it's a deeper position. I get that from Morgan's side of things, but like, Van Ness should be doing that. I want to see, Van Ness start taking care of guys in the regular season a little bit more, which I think he's stepping stone. And I think with Van Ness, the biggest point in his favor is that he's not switching schemes in an offseason this go around. We're building upon what has already been laid, the foundation from last offseason camp and regular season, right? Like, that foundation is there. We're not switching over from what Iowa was running to what Green Bay ran in his rookie year. We're not switching over again when Hafley came around. Like, we have an offseason where he, has this knowledge that he can bring with him to the next season. So it's a nice benchmark, but I want to see him doing that. I want to see him take care of Rashid. Now, let's see some wins there, right? Let's see some, maybe he can get to Tom. Who knows? So the rant is over.
Since the rant is over, it was a good one. I have a segue here.
Since we're here, I just want to make sure we get to Rev Trev's thing, because I know he had LVM.
Okay, you can do Rev Trev, and then I'll do really my quick.
Yeah, Rev Trev, a little while ago, I started this one to make sure. He said, my wish is LVN is a difference maker like Clay Matthews was. Looks doubtful so far, but I get to play different positions. Yeah, that's the difficult part. Like, Matthews in that defense could always just go hunt quarterbacks. Like, the scheme allowed him to do that, right? He's not sitting there trying to hold the point of attack at first and then get to the rush, right? Like, Matthews was just able to go attack based on what Capers was running. So it's tough. That we just cannot compare that, right? You want, Van Ness needs to be on, the track of what Gary's doing, right? Like, on Gary's track, on the Preston Smith track, like these bigger guys at defensive end in the 4-3, right? Obviously, Trey Hendrickson is kind of like a pie in the sky type of thing, but like him, right? He's part of that. Garrett's part of that. Like, it's these bigger guys at defensive end. I'm trying to think of some others, JJ. I don't want to lose it before we do that, but I'm going to quickly take a peek. But like, there are plenty of those guys. And so, do you got one?
Give it a few games this year. Like, it's still really early for a first round pick. And last year there certainly was some weirdness. Like, the fact that, Preston Smith is gone and LVN is still not getting huge number of snap counts. Yeah, that was weird. Sure. If that continues this year, then yeah, be concerned. If it's like week 4, week 6, something like that, and he's still not really a full-time defensive end for the Packers, and guys like Kingsley are starting over him, yeah, be concerned at that point.
Definitely.
It's just still a little early. Packers like to bring these freak athlete, early high draft pick guys along slowly when they can, and they've been able to do that with LVN.
Yes.
It's just a little early to panic.
That's the frustrating part, right, with the draft sometimes, right? It's like, man, they're drafting these guys for year 3, and it just stinks when you don't see it, right away. When you see some other guys right away. But there you don't get a lot of those right aways, right? There are so many players in year 2 and year 3 that kind of arrive on the scene. So, right, really good example, Spencer Brown's a recent one for the Bills, right tackle. He was kind of on the edge of like, are we going to see something? And then, bam, figured it out. Boom, we're good. Long-term extension. Here's your money type of thing, right? Nico Collins, we talked about him, right? He took the leap. Found that leap. He said, no, I'm gonna take hold of this, and I'm moving. So you do get that, right? Gary took some time, right? He obviously wasn't the starter, but that was the plan. And so you will get that at times. And so that's, I think.
And I don't really like the Packers strategy of sitting these guys for forever and not letting them really contribute until year 3. It's clearly intentional. I'm not saying I like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Bosa brothers, right? These guys get to play a lot early. Yeah. And Rashan Gary, if you look at his snap counts, right? It took him longer from a time perspective to start making a big difference, but it was basically the same number of snaps as what the Bosa brothers were getting before he was making the same kind of impact on the game that they were. They just got to get those snaps in earlier and therefore start making a difference earlier. So I would rather see these guys get worked in a large role earlier on in their career. I haven't really seen evidence that it's a massively successful strategy to string these guys along slowly. We're not going to give them a third contract. I'm sorry. Outside of the quarterbacks, no third round or no third contracts have panned out for the Packers in my lifetime, right?
We're waiting.
Actually, there was a tweet about that earlier yesterday. Or say what?
We're waiting on 2 of them. We're moving in the direction for potentially Zach Tom, of course.
Oh,
Zach Tom. We got the second one. Can't wait to see Tucker Kraft. Absolutely. Right. And for those who are getting ahead of themselves, have your fun. Matthew Gold, of course. Well, that's a good one as well. Yes, of course. So, yeah, I mean,
can we do this one? This is a question. This is a theory by Ken Ingalls.
Okay.
Malik Willis is going to get a decent contract with a shot to be a starter next offseason. Pencil in a day 3 QB in the draft in April for the Packers. He gone. So it is true that after this season, Malik will be an unrestricted free agent. Packers don't have a RFA or anything available to them. So, do you think that a team like the Saints or somebody is going to bring him in a la Jameis Winston, Justin Fields, with his shot to be a starter?
I mean, there's a team that always comes to mind here. It's Pittsburgh, of course. They try a lot of things at QB, right?
Yeah, but Malik did not play anywhere in the AFC North. He didn't play anywhere in the AFC North, so they probably haven't even heard of him.
I'm trying to think where else. I mean,
Cleveland.
If things get, I mean, I think Cleveland's going to be in a nice position to draft a guy high, right? But I think they're going to be in that position.
I think that the Steelers or somebody are actually going to outbid the Packers.
Pittsburgh does some crazy
for
things.
A guy that they've
invested
multiple years and draft picks in a trade for
Indianapolis. How desperate will
That's probably
Indy
the
and
one.
Pittsburgh be? How desperate will Indy and Pittsburgh be? That's the real question.
But do they think
Cleveland's
he's
obviously a
actually
good
going to be
shout.
their starter?
Man, I mean, Indy has tried some stuff, and so has Pittsburgh, right? In those years since Luck and Roethlisberger have been done. So I can't rule it out.
Those two teams, when we did our GM rankings, we compared those two GMs so hard against each other, Chris Ballard and Omar.
Yeah. It's the QB thing, man.
Like they can put together a nice roster, and then they just don't.
It's just the.
Again, it's like they put
line.
together their roster. They're like, dang, this is a good roster. That was really easy. I don't know why all the other GMs are like, talking about how it's so hard to put together a good roster. Like, we still have like $5 million left over at the end of this.
Ballard had a good roster.
Position we were supposed to pay a lot to? I don't think so.
Ballard had a decent to good roster. He just put, again, aging Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz into it. It's like, well, yeah, of course they're not going to get to the finish line. Rivers was fun. That was a great time. It was a cool season to watch. But it's like, it
was doomed from the start. There was no chance that was going to work out. None.
I mean, they got to 10 wins, but again, it wasn't going to be like
they didn't win a playoff game.
Yeah, I know, but they're not going to get over the finish line. Wentz was the same. Like, it's just, yeah, they are very similar. So that's my problem. I think both could be like, yeah, sure. Like if somehow Indy wins enough games to keep them in the mediocrity area, they can go all in with a new regime.
I don't think that.
Or are they gonna?
I don't think that.
That's my thing.
The Steelers. I don't think Omar Khan. Now, this is not true about Mike Tomlin, but I don't think Omar Khan actually has Super Bowl aspirations for his team. I think he just wants them to be good.
That's the Pittsburgh way.
Be good. Just be relevant.
Be good enough. Yeah, and I think that's what.
Not Mike Tomlin.
That's what this.
Mike Tomlin wants to win a Super Bowl. But
I say, as much as he gets flack, that's what the Saints are trying to do. They're not doing it, but they're trying to do that, right? They're extending all these guys. They're pushing all the void money of like, can we be decent, right? Like they're trying to do that. That's another great example of a team just trying to like stay relevant enough for the city, right? Gave them a championship, right, in this century. Like, hey, let's just stay relevant enough where. We can be, quote unquote, in the hunt. For most
That's the sign of a GM who just wants to keep his job. He wants to be able to like, look, I got you a 10-win season. Every single year I've been here. We had one down year where we went, 9-7-1, right?
Yeah. It is how that's what it looks like right now.
Ron asks, how many first-round QBs projected next year, Jake? Isn't it 3 right now? I mean, like it's so pointless trying to guess this far out.
Tricky thing here because you look at the consensus big board, you look at mock drafts, you look at kind of rankings early on. Technically, there are 5 projected. The problem is one of them is Arch Manning, who it's hard to see that happening. The Mannings, how they want to go about it, right? Like play 2 years as a full-time starter. So, like, if you pull him out of the equation, you're looking at, well, maybe there's one more. You're looking at Klubnik, Nussmeier, right? Klubnik from Clemson, Nussmeier, LSU. Lenore Sellers, South Carolina is 3. And then you probably throw in Drew Aller in there, right? There's a lot of expectation for Penn State.
No,
now Fernando Mendoza coming over from Cal to Indiana, I think, and a lot of people have been on this already, and it's good that they were back then. Corey Kinnan was way on it, like right away post-draft, was way on it, and then others have kind of gradually gotten into that camp. So those are kind of the 6 you're looking at, or the 5 plus Arch Manning. Doubt everybody stays there, right? Obviously, Arch, I would lean he goes back to school unless A, he wins the Heisman, B, they win the national title, and then C, the team picking first, assuming obviously if he does all that, he's probably going first, right, if he declares. Assuming that team that is the number 1 overall pick is a team that the Mannings would like him to go to. Would they like him to go to his grandfather's team? Potentially. New Orleans, potentially, right? If Cleveland has first overall pick, I don't think they want him to go there, to be perfectly honest, right? Like,
I mean, we saw how that worked out with another family, celebrity, royalty this past year
Certainly.
with trying to not go to Cleveland.
Certainly. However,
I guess the biggest difference is that Arch can actually play ball.
Five-time MVP, two-time Super Bowl champs, right? As your uncles, like, probably going to have a little bit more pull, unfortunately. Not to say that, again, Deon is obviously a Hall of Famer too, right? But this is, they're clearly involved heavily. So they're going to want him to go.
Can I throw a couple names at you?
Like, are they going to want him to go to the Jets? Don't know. So Ron, I would say 5 right now. Generously, I don't. That's right now minus Arch Manning. Again, Aller, I think JJ and I have shared plenty of our concerns with him, but he's there right now. So that's what you're looking at. When all is said and done, I think it'll probably be around 4 personally. But
Arch talking about the Jets, and then Eli's sitting right there.
Yeah, like where would you want to go if you were Arch, JJ? Can I list some teams really quick?
Yeah.
Like who are probably going to be drafting QBs? New Orleans. Would you want to go there if you were Arch?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Cleveland. Would you want to go there?
Heck no.
Okay. New York Jets. Would you want to go there?
Heck no.
Okay.
Actually, Arch might be interested in that, but I'm definitely a heck no.
I mean, Aaron Glenn, could be better.
Let's see how year one of Aaron Glenn goes.
For sure. I agree.
Aaron Glenn, who I perennially underrated his whole time in Detroit. All right, we'll see how his year one goes there.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me.
You're not gonna toss Indy at me?
No, I am. I'm just making sure there's not a team I'm missing at the moment. I just want to double check. But as we're going, just as a throw out there, because again they traded for a QB, he is getting up there. Regime could be thinking long term as well. Las Vegas Raiders. Would you want to go there?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not playing for Mark Davis, and I don't think that the Manning family are letting their son go play for Mark Davis.
Okay. Indianapolis. Would you want to go there?
Well, obviously, if my name is Arch Manning, the answer is obviously yes.
Okay. Pittsburgh. Do you want to go there?
Yes.
Okay. I think those are the teams now. If I threw out Vegas, I got to throw this team out because QB's got some back concerns already. Los Angeles Rams. Would you want to go there if you're Arch Manning?
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree. I would like to go there.
They have decent enough ownership. Sean McVay is a top 3 coach in the NFL, and it's not particularly debatable.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the LA market is absolutely fantastic. Like every player wants to go live in LA.
Yeah. A couple wild cards. Just is kind of like a. I mean, I guess Miami. They kind of paid Tua. They're kind of stuck. But would you want to go to Miami?
No, Miami's not going to be in play for Arch.
Again, I think they're going to be too good to be in play. But their kind of QB situation's weird. Seattle. Would you want to go there? Again, if Darnold flops and they don't get a lot from Milroe, they could kind of be at square one pretty quickly.
This is tough because I think I would say yes.
Sure. But
I don't know if the Manning family would say yes.
Yeah,
what do you think the Manning family would say?
Seattle's tricky because
I would say yes if it was me.
Would they want an offensive head coach? Right, because that obviously we talk McVay. Absolutely, you go play there. New Orleans has Kellen Moore. We'll see how that goes. But again, their pace has been good. All that good stuff.
Well, forget the current coaches. Let's talk about the coaches that Peyton and Eli played for.
Yeah, I will say
how many offensive coaches did they have
in Seattle? Right, there is a guy at OC whose dad has played with Peyton Manning. Right, Clint Kubiak, Gary Kubiak.
Right,
has been around Peyton Manning in the Denver years, possibly. I think they'd kind of be like nudging John Snyder, be like, hey, this O-line, keep going. Keep going. Okay, we're not there yet. Like, they'd probably be nudging them in that direction. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's it. The Giants are in a weird situation also, kind of throwing everything at the fan. If they all get fired and everything goes, I think you probably go there, right? If you're the Manning family.
I'm still a little bit stuck on this offensive versus defensive head coach thing.
No, that's fair.
So Peyton played for he played for Jim Mora, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so that's defense. Tony Dungy is defense. Jim Caldwell was offense.
Yep, that's right.
John Fox was defense.
He was.
Gary Kubiak, obviously, offense.
Yeah, so maybe not.
So that's 2
and
offense,
Coughlin,
3 defense. Eli played for Tom Coughlin, which is offense. Ben McAdoo was offense.
That's right.
Not that went well. And then Pat Shurmur had
his offensive
background as well. So he didn't play for any defensive. So
yeah, that's
interesting. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe Eli's experience
would say offense. You know. Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, obviously it's kind of mostly only Tom Coughlin. Like by the time Ben got there, Eli was done. He was cooked.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you're Arch and you're the Mannings, of course you want to play with McVay. Like, there's no question you would love to do that, right? And again, the history of Pittsburgh, going back to where your uncle played in Indy, like, there are a lot of good options. But I just, again, and where your grandpa played. But, like, if Cleveland gets it, don't know, man. Don't know. But that's interesting.
I mean, literally, Eli Manning is like the poster boy. He's the reason that we ever talk about, like, well, would this quarterback actually go here? It's only because of Eli that we even have that conversation.
Yeah.
So obviously the family would do that.
Yeah. So again, all this to say, you know, I think around 4 QBs, Malik Willis, there might be some value there just based on, again, how many teams we brought up, right, in that conversation for Arch of, like, there might be enough teams where somebody tries it, right? And obviously Willis has done well. LaFleur's done a really nice job. Could I see Willis succeeding in Minnesota? Perhaps. I don't think they're going to go there yet, right? I think they're kind of entrenched in the
Do you think J.J. McCarthy's going to be good this year? Like I lean toward yes.
God, the odds,
I lean toward he's not going to
no.
have to be very good because of
that's the thing. That's
situation.
Because again, what they did with Darnold of, like, you know, they have him in those, like, naked boots, right, where Jefferson's the primary read on, like, a flat route, right? Like, they're giving him layups to Justin Jefferson, right, for Darnold last year. So, like, I imagine they're going to be doing the exact same thing for McCarthy early on. And they brought in those offensive linemen, right? Like, they're probably, as you said, they're probably going to be more balanced. They're probably going to lean into the balance until they feel like JJ has, you know, they maybe give him more keys to the, like, they give him the key to the apartment, they give him the key to the car, like, they do all that. Like, then you can
we on this podcast just call him McCarthy? Because I just get a little offended at, you know, having to share my name with a Vikings quarterback from
McCarthy,
the team up north.
Yes. Hold on. I gotta know what the real name is. Jonathan James McCarthy. There you go. Jonathan James. Jonathan James.
I can see why he doesn't use those names.
Yes. It's very close to John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. So.
Joel for this wants to know, could the Bears give up on Caleb after this year? Dude, they gave Justin Fields 3 freaking years.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the number 1 overall pick. They gave Mitchell Trubisky 4 years.
4, yeah. That's
no,
not
the Bears of all teams are not giving up on Caleb.
No.
Who, by the way, like, wasn't good, but he was not terrible. He was last year. He was an upgrade over what they had in Justin Fields,
for sure,
which is not hard to do.
No, like, it's not. Was he?
I think Jake Schyvinck would be an upgrade over what they had in Justin Fields.
I don't know about that, but again, was he underwhelming relative to expectations? Of course. Was he downright awful? No. So, which isn't obviously a great thing to hear, right? With Ben Johnson going in there. But we'll see. There's no guarantees on anything. So we'll see. Yeah, got to get to
Air
this
says, I heard Luther Burden was in the doghouse with Ben Johnson today.
Hey.
Did you like Luther Burden? I can't remember because I didn't. Did you like him?
Not really. I had him, I think, as like mid to late second of like lots of upside here to work with. But like, again, the Missouri reports, being him in the doghouse, like I think a lot of people are going to go back to like, oh, well, Missouri coaches and would say this about him too, of like, man, that I don't like what we're seeing effort wise on the field when he wasn't getting the ball or the targets weren't good, right, type of thing. So people are going to go back to that for sure. But again, I still think there's a guy with like movement skills that are really, really impressive. But like when you look at him play right now, like his best two routes are an out route and a slot fade. And it's like that can only get you so far right away. But again, the movement skills and all of that are top tier, probably only surpassed by Travis Hunter. It's just he just doesn't have everything together right now in terms of playing the position. So I could really see if they get him involved, it's going to be like backfield stuff, get him involved in the screen game where he can work after the catch, right? Some shot plays. So, yeah, if all that stuff's carrying over from Missouri, which was reported on him, like if that's carrying over, that's not a good sign. But again, that's why, again, you draft him in the second round, right? This isn't like, hey, we took him 10th overall and we're having these issues. So kind of made sense about where he was drafted. I know that the expectations were sky high after his sophomore year. So, that's not where everybody really wants to see him at this moment in time. But again, I think there's a lot for him to work on. Range of outcomes guy, right, than a guy like Ibuka, right, that we could kind of talk about earlier. So
hopefully he either doesn't pan out, which, I don't like to wish that on a guy, or preferably gets traded from Chicago to someplace where he does succeed. We'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just becomes a fantasy football beast, but it just doesn't translate into real wins for the team. Team wins.
Don't know. How are you snagging targets away from my guys, Adunze and Loveland?
Yeah, I'm still not
and
there.
Obviously, obviously DJ Moore.
And year one didn't give me much for it.
No. And obviously DJ.
I mean, like I will like Malik. I'm fully won over. Like Malik is out of this world. Odunze, I'm just not there.
Yeah, he's got a lot to prove. I think he's got more to prove than Harrison does. Even though Harrison, I think, still has plenty to prove in year two. But when you look at, I mean, there's a golden trio right now, and Harrison can certainly get there, and Odunze can certainly get there. But it's Neighbors, Thomas, and Ladd right now, leading the way. So, but again, I've got some high hopes on a few guys.
We are running out of time to keep talking about training camp stuff.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on a couple of the wide receivers that we've had some questions about.
Okay. Love that.
Seems to be some tweets from the people who are attending Packers training camp, of which I sadly have not one this year. That Wicks' hands look a lot better. Now, he did muff a punt off of his groin. That happened. Other than that,
that hurts literally
when he's out playing wide receiver and not punt returner.
Yeah.
Seems like he's doing well.
This is huge.
And it seems like it's been the Golden and Wicks show so far through 1 week of training camp, which, take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Do you put any stock into that, or is it just like, come on, like I need to see more first before I can?
I mean, I think it's nice. I think it's good to hear. But again, what's going to do it for me is in the games when we get to September and he's stacking good games together and he's catching the football.
But Wicks had drops troubles in camp a year ago. This was where we first started getting concerned.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. I was big on like, I don't think it's a big deal. And I was completely wrong about that.
It's hard because every situation is different, right? Jamar Chase is going, man, I can't pick up the ball because there's no stripes on it, right? And it's like, that didn't matter.
I think about that often.
Because
I mocked Jamar Chase mercilessly for that. And then,
wow,
and then Jamar he was got the last laugh.
Yeah, he's kind of just like, nah, just give me a minute and I'll take care of it. So that's what's tough is all these reports and blah, 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 and all that of like, man, guys are taking off in camp, and it's like, it just didn't translate at all. It's so difficult. Every situation is different. But as you said, like Wicks catching it versus not catching it in camp last year, I think is again kind of what we were talking about LVN. It's like that's a nice benchmark. That's a nice first little check mark. Is it going to move me a ton? Not really. But again, just as we kind of talked about with Ryan early in the show and LVN, it's just kind of like, hey, stack days together. Keep working. Keep putting in the work. Like that you want to build towards being an impactful player. And
sure,
we'll get there when we get there. So,
well, not on the issue of building toward being an impactful player, Wicks seems to be continuing to develop chemistry with Jordan,
which is good. That it is good to see that, because I do think we've talked about the Doubs and Love connection a lot of that's the guy he clearly trusts to go make a play. So having somebody else kind of build that rapport, right? I think we all probably think Golden's going to get there. Reed was getting there early in the season. So to keep building that is good, because again, who knows if Doubs is going to be here next year, right? Gotta keep building rapport with all these guys.
Who knows if he's going to be here this year?
Well, that's true.
Matt LaFleur has been talking up Doubs and praising him for example, taking time to coach up Matthew Golden on route running details.
Yeah,
love that. Everybody who has attended camp has gushed over Doubs' hands. Which
is interesting. He dropped a lot of passes last year too.
Well,
so
maybe not as many as Reed and Wicks.
I thought we went over it was 6 or 7 for him also. But the difference was he was making those otherworldly plays. It was kind of all balancing itself out in some weird James Jones fever dream.
He already did that this camp too. He made a diving sliding catch in camp against Keisean Nixon.
Sure.
Which, look,
it's the fever.
Love continues to trust him and look his way, and it's no wonder why he makes the crazy catches.
The down there somewhere guy is Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs down there somewhere. That's who it is right now. So
I want to keep him, but I think there will be teams calling about
Pittsburgh.
Him. I think the Chiefs will call. I think the Steelers will call.
Yep.
Trying to think who else might call.
I'm looking. Well, other than Garrett Wilson, who you got? Not a whole lot, I will say.
I would think the Chiefs and Steelers have already made at least 2 calls about Doubs.
I wonder if Arizona's made a call. Just because, again, they're kind of in that similar situation, Marvin Harrison Jr. Then don't know, right?
I think it would take at least a 4th round pick to move.
I would
Doubs.
think so. I'm trying to scroll through other teams. I'm not seeing.
Jake, if you could get an extra 4th round pick for Doubs or an extra 3rd round pick for Doubs,
Giants should do it. What? A 4th or an extra 3rd?
If you could get either an extra 4th or an extra 3rd for Goody.
Well, I would take the 3rd because I would take the 3rd so I could turn that into many, many 4ths down the line, right?
What about this? Would you take a 3rd?
Turn that 3rd into more swings.
A 4th and a 5th.
Give me the 3rd because I think I can turn that 3rd into a 4th and a few 5ths, maybe another fourth even.
No, I'm
I
not
think we
making
can
you the
get there.
GM. I'm saying, would you? I specifically said, give the pick to Goody.
More swings is always nice. We've gained so much knowledge that everybody's on the even play field. What do we know? Nothing. We think we know things. We don't know things. So might as well have more at bats, right?
I think it would take a
Eagles
fourth
and Ravens
to move Doubs to the Chiefs. I think it would take a fourth
so.
and a seventh. Fourth and a seventh.
Could do that.
I don't think the Chiefs would give that up, though.
No, probably
they
not.
should. They
Probably
should.
Not. Again, I think there's been good stuff about Jalen Royals in camp for them. So maybe they're sticking to that. It's like no, we like this Royals guy,
established, reliable. That's what they need.
We
don't have.
We like this Royals guy.
They have
the Rice suspension. We're not worried. We got Royals, man.
They have two different types of players. They have established suck and promising young guy. Those are the two types of players they have in Kansas City.
Pretty much.
For catching the ball.
Pretty much. Yes. Maybe the Bills.
Yeah, Bills. Yeah, that could be.
Maybe. Yeah. The Bills are weird. They just go into like mega bunch. Bunch with the running back to that side of like, hey, we got 4 routes in this short area. It's like we don't need outside receivers. We can just throw all the slot receivers into a bunch look. And it's like, yeah, Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. Like we can put them all in one area and let them cook. Because like Josh Palmer's like their outside guy right now. So maybe it's possible.
I mentioned earlier that that we had multiple veterans spilling the beans about various players. We talked about Josh Jacobs talking about MarShawn Lloyd, but another one we heard was Xavier McKinney talking about Isaiah Simmons. And Xavier basically let the cat out of the bag that the plan is for Isaiah Simmons to be a large part of this defense this year. And not one word has been spoken other than we had a little bit of Jeff Hafley talk about it, but like basically not one word in any serious capacity has been spoken about moving Isaiah around between safety and nickel and linebacker. Like he's the Sam linebacker for the Packers. And there's some discussion about like, Tyron Hopper is going to push Isaiah Simmons for the Sam linebacker job. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
It's Isaiah Simmons. And if he's just going to play linebacker all year, I'm here for it. And on that exact same note, because we have two, quote unquote unicorn gadget guys on the roster, one on defense and one on offense. Savion Williams is just kind of getting coached up at like boundary receiver right now through 1 week of camp. I mean, it's
I know you're big
super
on that.
tiny sample size, but I was so excited to hear about both of those.
Yeah. I mean, obviously McKinney knows him right from the time in New York. So obviously he would have probably more to say than most, right? Who are in the building.
He's also like the leader of the Packers defense, though.
For sure. So again, I think, I think there could be a lot of coach speak index in what LaFleur and Hafley are saying, kind of more so, because they're probably getting asked about it because, again, why? Because he was a high draft pick, right? So they're going to get questions about him where, McKinney is, as you said, future, he's the leader of this defense and has the most, I think, to speak on about somebody like Simmons. So that's good to see. And I know Goody was asked about him today as well. And,
what did Goody say?
He said, certainly he's very gifted. He was obviously drafted in the first round. Boom. Draft position matters, as you're moving along your career, finding teams.
Yep.
Spent a lot of time on him as he was coming out of college, out of Clemson. He's got a very versatile skill set. I wouldn't call it a flyer. I don't
Again,
I don't
if we're
like
not gonna
him saying that he has a versatile skill set because, like, no, find the place. Please find the place that we're going to play him at. I don't need to be like, well, he could do this, could do this, could do this. That's great. Like, I could be a Decepticon. Sure, okay. Like, I don't know.
If we play Simmons purely just at one linebacker spot for the whole year, I think he'll be here for a handful of years. He'll be here for 3-4 years.
Please.
Similarly, Savion, if we just play him as a boundary wide receiver, I think he's going to be here for at least the entirety of his rookie contract. If we're doing all this stupid Tyler Ervin, Cordero Patterson, jet motion, whatever, they're going to have him do a ton of jet sweeps. They just will, because that's LaFleur can't get away from that.
Yeah.
But, like, just teach him to play wide receiver.
Yeah. With
I will bet on him being a success at that point.
I mean, with how he moves, just let him do that. So, my thing with Simmons is when you go back and like watch him like as a retrospective, it looks very much like a player that is going to be talked about a lot in this cycle, and that's Harold Perkins at LSU, where it's like he's got a lot of sacks. That's awesome, because he's kind of playing overhang and blitzing at like 215 pounds. Like, where do you play him? I don't know. In college, that's where you play him. You play him in college because I don't know where he's going. Like this. Yeah. So, it's tough. It's tough. I don't like when they use the word versatile, but again, I'm thinking about Jeff Hafley going like, man, if we align him like near the box and let him drop into a split safety look or into like, single high, just like the possibilities to screw with QB's post snap is just, it's got to bring a smile to his face, I'm sure. So, and I think Andy Herman, there was a play like that Andy Herman shared with Simmons where he did pretty much exactly that. I'm gonna look for it. Yep.
Okay.
Found it. Here we go. Yeah. Just as we're doing this for funsies.
Do it.
Yeah. So, like, he's buzzing from a linebacker position to literal safety post snap as a rotation. Like, you're kidding me. Hafley see this, go, oh yeah, an athlete. I can do things with this. Like,
he is, but also I'm trying to figure out like what's the purpose of him dropping that far.
It's to one, he's got the look on, I think, the weak side of this play, and you kind of have this safety dropping in, right?
Hold on, let me remove Air's comment so we can see the bottom of the screen.
Look at 31 dropping down into kind of the rat area.
Yeah.
It's just confusing a post look because they probably initially aren't thinking about 31 as somebody who's going to drop into like the robber rat area.
Yeah.
It's just changing what maybe Baker is like thinking he's going to get. That's all.
I mean, I don't mind this with a disguised look, like that's fine, but
yeah.
It's a trick play on defense. Like it's a disguised coverage for a reason.
It's like, is he going to play?
You would do this with any other linebacker who has any ounce of athleticism. It just wouldn't work as well.
You do this with Oladapo, 100%.
Well, would you have Oladapo lined up at linebacker?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's big-ish.
I mean,
I think you could do it because simply what it is it like Oladapo sitting in the box as, in that like rat robber look, and you just happen to rotate, and McKinney rotates down, and it's just something like that kind of changes post snap. So that's all I'm thinking there. Of like, you could do that probably, and like, could Cooper do that? I don't know if you're putting Cooper like an actual linebacker in a position where they're, hey, I'm free safety now. Basically after this rotation, like I'm rotating into the single high look, yeah. But,
we did talk about Elgton Jenkins.
Yes, that's probably our cue to.
Friend of the show, Jersey Al, noted that this was one of those situations where the Packers should have just been way more transparent and just told us up front what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
According to Elgton Jenkins, his absence from off-season programming for the Packers was family related and had nothing to do with his contract, and he doesn't expect there to be any adjustment to his contract at all. And
Interesting.
according to Elgton Jenkins, the move to center was his idea, and it was something that he said he's envisioned for a few years, that he would make that move further inside later in his career.
Huh. I mean, again, he played there in college.
He did.
So it's not like this, like, you know, it's not super new to him, right? Like, it's not like something where, you know, like, hey, coach, I think I could do this. It's like, hey, coach, obviously I have experience here. Like, is that, like, you know, or is that something we want to do? So, yeah. Makes sense. But that's a far cry from what we were talking about a month ago. Like, it's wild how different that sounds.
Do you think that Elgton is being entirely forthcoming in this, or did things just not transpire the way that he was hoping that they would?
I don't know.
Like, I don't want to accuse him of dishonesty.
Bit of both.
It's just that, like, we heard a ton of.
Yeah. It could be that, like, he, you know, if the conversation of like, hey, I can do this at center, you know, and it's like, hey, is there any chance like I can, you know, guaranteed money? Is there anything we could do about the contract and all that? And so he brought it up, and Green Bay was kind of holding firm, and maybe that was a little frustrating to him. I don't know. It could be a bit of both. But maybe this, yeah, as maybe we were, you know, thinking about it and it leaks and we're doing all this stuff, like we just, you know, just took it and just ran with it like Usain Bolt. You know, Green Bay and Elgton both watching this going, whoa. It didn't go down like this. It doesn't have to be anything like outrageous. You know, there very much could be that type of thing. So it's probably, you know, it probably wasn't like outrageous demand type of conversation type of thing where it was just maybe like, okay, that's frustrating, you know, because I kind of brought this idea to you and, like, you know, it's something that could, I think, work well for both of us. It's frustrating. You won't give me any money type of thing. And there could have been, yeah, just a more, like, serious conversation that didn't turn into kind of like, oh, these guys, Jenkins hates the Packers now, and the Packers, you know, are frustrated with him. And it's kind of like, yeah, it was probably just, The media took it and ran with it maybe a little too far, and it just kind of like, yeah, as Toolfus is saying, you know, it's probably a little more in the middle. It probably wasn't like, you know, this major spat. It probably wasn't nothing. You know, I don't know.
He also said that he had suggested the move last year when we had a center, Josh Myers.
I kind of like it.
Further confirmation bias of the fact that everybody knew Josh Myers was not,
yeah, right.
Especially last year.
It's like, hey, you know, I can do this also. Josh Myers not cutting it? You know, he's in there with like charts, presentation. He's got his elevator pitch like, hey, is Josh Myers not cutting it for you? May I present something? Me at center. I played there in college. Look at my work in college. Brings up the PFF pressure stats of like, look at this. I know I'm versatile. You don't have to keep me a guard. Why don't you go out and get some guards and I'll play center for you? Like I think that would be cool if that was like the elevator pitch of like, is Josh Myers ruining your offensive line? Well, boy, do I have a solution.
It'd be funny if he he brought his whole presentation and then like 10 seconds in, they were just like, okay, listen, yes,
Listen, we're
we're
this.
in. And he's like, oh, I have more slides. They're like, no,
Yeah.
we have stuff to do. The answer is yes.
We're gonna do this, okay? Promise you that. May not be right now, but we're gonna do this. I do like that.
Ron said, I would guess they told him, let's. Jules says, I can imagine Jenkins on the sideline next to Matt. Execute order 66 on 71. I like it.
86-71.
86-71.
He wrote it in the sand somewhere.
Oh,
man, there we go.
I love it.
There we go.
I love it. I get the reference.
Oh, that's
Ron
good.
says, I would guess they told him, let's see how this year goes, and they will revisit it before next year. Is that possible? Maybe the one thing that would make that possible is that his cap hit next year is $24.8 million. He's not getting a new contract after this. I don't think they're going to
think so.
Pay him at age 32. I also don't think they're going to cut him. I could.
Is he really 32?
See,
can't be.
I don't know. Like, what do you do? Tack on one extra year in exchange for like a little bit more cash, something like that?
Okay. So he is 30 in late December.
I forgot Josh Myers threw up on the football.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So he will be 30 in December. I was gonna say 2019
this
draft
year.
pick. Yeah. So he will be 30.
But that means that he's played. That means that, you give him a new contract when he's 31 and a half or more.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be probably 31 and a third or something like that when free agency begins. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot of money. Get ready to learn Jake Slaughter, Packers fans, center from Florida. Get ready to learn the name. Kind of brought him up last year, even. But
Jake Slaughter is going to be gone way before we're on the clock. Just
listen, we don't. No, we can't speculate at this time where he's going to go. Okay.
Absolutely, we can speculate that the Packers are. He's not going to be there at pick 32.
Well, he probably won't be there at pick 32. That's very true.
It all comes down to, can Dontayvion Wicks hold on to the football? Can Jayden Reed hold on to the football?
JJ's doing the smart thing where he's like, we will never get this guy at 32. Me, on the other hand, is going, how can we get Xavier, McKinney, and Caleb Downs on the same team?
Do you think Caleb Downs is going in the top? Is he going in the top 10 picks?
Yes.
In 26.
Yes.
Is he going in the top 5 picks?
Oh,
I feel like he's right at like 4 to 6 range.
I think if Tennessee's picking like 6th, that's the move. It's right there, right out in front of you. That seems like, let's early call that. Tennessee selects Caleb Downs at like number 6 or 7. Early call.
And then the year after that, Jeremiah Smith goes number 1 overall.
Gosh, Jeremiah Smith and Matthew Golden are on the same team? That's crazy. Boom.
We better not ever have the number 1 overall pick.
Zoom. No, actually, no. It's gonna be Golden and Ryan Williams, and they're gonna call the Packers receiver room Zoom.
Here's how the Packers get the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They start adopting my strategy of trading for other teams' first-round picks all the time. All right, you always trade away your second-round pick for the first-round pick of some team that you think is going to be garbage next year. The Bears are a pretty good bet.
This just in, Chris Ballard is offering a first-round pick for Malik Willis in an effort to figure out the QB position once and for all.
I have said that is my going rate for Malik Willis, first-round pick.
As it should be.
Would I move him for a second?
This guy's done things. You want these guys in the draft who haven't done things? It can't be me. Yeah.
Dude,
goes into the Colts room with charts. Like, hey, do you want a quarterback? Well,
his other one was the Colts, right? He beat the Titans, and it was the Colts was his other win, right?
Yep. Yeah. Colts go, man. He handed the ball off really well in that game. We have a man he can hand the ball off to.
And did you see how Jayden Reed decided not to drop the ball when
Yes.
it hit him in the hands?
I feel like Tyler Warren won't drop the ball when thrown to. You know? So, you know. Never know, man. Never know. But
all right, listen, we are out of time.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the floor to drop your closing thoughts on Packers training camp through week 1. What do you want to see in week 2? And what do you have for us as your takeaway for this week?
I think the biggest takeaway is golden. It has to be at this point for me. I know we have titled the show, and that's a close second or third. But golden's the story right now, and that's great news for the receiver room. As we've kind of mentioned, it's going to push everybody. It should be. It should be pushing everybody to be better. Should be, so like Doubs is giving him tips, and he is putting that all together very quickly. Like Reed and Wicks, year 3. It's time. Let's go. The pressure's on. So yeah, it's golden. Pushing the receivers in that room, pushing the DBs, right, challenging them, like all of that stuff. That's the story right now for me. And if I may, Jeremiah Smith was the best player last season. Ryan Williams had the best play last season of those two guys. Sorry, can't get those two guys out of my head now. We went there.
We got a long time to talk about those two guys. We got a whole 2 years.
We do. We've got a lot of time. 2 years from now, they will be in camp somewhere.
Too old for this has been begging. Did you get a chance to watch Space Chimps this week, like you said you were going to try and do?
I didn't. I did not get to watch Space Chimps.
I did watch Superman for Too Old for this.
Okay.
Because he was on this for like 3 weeks in a row that we had to go see Superman. So I did go see Superman. And I can confidently say this is the first good Superman movie of my lifetime. They did a good job. Hats off to James Gunn.
Right.
It was good.
I like that.
It was
I like that.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome. Yeah,
it wasn't like laugh out loud, ha funny, but I think it struck basically the right tone through the whole movie that it needed to. And I'm ready to see the next installment in that universe. I think that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. That'll be cool. I want to see that, and I want to see Fantastic Four. I know that's why Tyler Dershel was not here.
Right. Yeah, Tyler Dershel, if you catch this recording later, you were missed a lot. You've been missed for a while. Can you hurry up and get this wedding thing over with? Because
Yeah.
It ain't been the same. All right. Just saying.
Chat's been good though. Chat's been good.
Chat has been good.
It is nice when we have the whole gang here.
I appreciate errors.
Yeah. Errors too old for this. Chris N. Ron Samville has a lot of stuff. So
yes.
It was good.
The chat was popping. We didn't have as many people active in the chat as we do sometimes, but the guys who were in there kept it popping.
Really kept going, yes. So
Tool says who gets married? Well, Mrs. Dershel. Mrs. Dershel gets married, and what a catch she has on her hands. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. You've squandered yet another perfectly good hour.
2 hours.
2 hours. It would have been 3, but we had to get a late start.
Yeah, probably would have been 3.
With us here on Derailed. In the words of the late, great Mr. Ed Policy, thank you so very much for watching. We'll catch you next week. In the meantime, go Pack